Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel Vijay Biology Tutorials. Today we are going to learn the topic regarding the nutrition. How many types of the nutrition are there and what are the steps that are involved in the nutrition and how do the organisms get their food into their body. So these all points we are going to discuss in our video, and before going to the video please do subscribe to my channel Vijay Biology Tutorials. And if you don't want to miss any of the bit, you have to watch the video till the end. Now let's go to the topic here. Regarding the nutrition, there are different questions given, and how do different organisms obtain the nutrition also they have asked in the worksheet. So let us discuss each bit in this video. So the first bit is dash method of nutrition is followed by animals. So here we know that in the nutrition we are having two types of the nutrition. The first one is the autotrophic nutrition and the second one is the heterotrophic nutrition. So the answer for this question will be heterotrophic nutrition. Why? Because autotrophic nutrition will be followed only by plants. So the answer is heterotrophic nutrition. The next question is the temporary finger-like extensions in amoeba are. So this is an important one. The answer is pseudopodia. Pseudo means false and podia means feet. So pseudo means false, podia means feet. So here the amoeba is having a finger-like extensions called as pseudopodia, and this pseudopodia helps to move the amoeba from one place to other place. Not only for movement, but it also helps in capturing of the food material also the pseudopodia will be having. Okay, so the pseudopodia will be helpful for capturing of the food materials, and it also helps the amoeba, which is a unicellular organism, to move from one place to other place. The answer is pseudopodia. Let's go to the third question. Dash is an example for the plant parasite. So here what is parasitism, what is saprophytism, those all I'll explain you in detail. But let us learn the answer for this bit. Dash is an example for the plant parasite. Cuscuta is an example for the plant parasite. Cuscuta can also be called as the dodder also. So this is an example for the plant parasite. Next, going to the fourth question. The plant or animal supporting a parasite is called as. The answer is host. So in the next questions we are having different types of the heterotrophic nutrition. In the different types of the heterotrophic nutrition we are having the parasitism also. So while explaining that answer, I'll explain the topic the parasitism. So the answer is host for this question. Next, go to the next one. Example for saprophyte is fungi and mushrooms are the example for the saprophytes. What are saprophytes also I'll explain you. Next, going to the next question. Name the different types of the heterotrophic nutrition. So here you have to write down different types of the heterotrophic nutrition. Here we have to write down the different types of the heterotrophic nutrition which is covered in your syllabus only. So only which is covered in your syllabus I have written. So the first one is saprophytic type of nutrition. What is saprophytic type of nutrition? Means saprophytic type of nutrition means they depend upon the dead and decaying matter. As they are not having chlorophyll, they cannot synthesize their own food material. As they cannot synthesize their own food material, they have to depend upon someone. Heterotrophic nutrition means that only. The heterotrophic nutrition animals or plants or not plants or any sort of the human beings also. If you take human beings, we are also called as heterotrophs only. Why are we called as heterotrophs? Means we depend upon plants and animals for our food. Even the animals, as they cannot synthesize their own food material, they depend upon the plants for their food. Only the plants and some green color bacteria like cyanobacteria or blue green algae, they can only prepare their food material because they are having a pigment called as chlorophyll. Due to the presence of the chlorophyll only they can prepare the food material, and that food material will be transferred to the next level of the food chain. So here autotrophic nutrition means nothing but the process by which the organisms can prepare their own food material by using the carbon dioxide, sunlight, chlorophyll. This is called as autotrophic nutrition. If we are not having chlorophyll, obviously we are not the autotrophs. So as we are not having chlorophyll, even human beings, next animals all come under the heterotrophs. And some of the microorganisms also come under the heterotrophs. So the first point is saprophytic type of nutrition. In this saprophytic type of nutrition, fungi, mushrooms come under the saprophytic nutrition. Means they feed on the dead and decaying matter. They feed on dead and decaying matter, rotten material. That type of nutrition is called as saprophytic nutrition. The second one is parasitic type of nutrition. In this parasitic type of nutrition, two organisms will be living together, but one organism will be benefited benefited and the other organisms may be benefited or it may be even lost also. Okay, so parasitic type of nutrition means it will be having a relationship of two organisms which lives together, but one organism will be benefited, the other organism may die or it may not be benefited or it may not have any effect also. In the parasitic type of nutrition, parasite and host will be living together. The organisms which give food to the other organism is called as host. Okay, are you able to understand? The organism which give food to the other organism is called as host. The organism which take the food from the host is called as a parasite. Here the parasite will be benefited, the host may be benefited or may not be benefited, or sometimes the host may die also. Here in the parasitic type of nutrition, two organisms lives together and one will be benefited, the other one will be either benefited or it may be lost also. Here the parasite will be taking the food material from the host and it will be benefited, while the host gives the food material to the parasite and the host will not be benefited or sometimes it may die also. Okay, that type of nutrition is called as parasitic type of nutrition. So in our previous question also that only they have given. The plant or animal supporting a parasite is called as host. Here the host will supply the food material to the parasite. Next, third type is some organisms take the food as a whole material and break it down inside their bodies. So here some of the unicellular organisms, how do they get the nutrition? Means they will be getting the nutrition, means they will be taking the nutrition through their entire surface. The entire surface of the body will be participating in the process of the nutrition, and after taking that food into the body, then the breaking down of the food material takes place. Okay, next. Here if you observe the amoeba, already I said that amoeba is having finger like extensions called as pseudopodia. With the help of the pseudopodia, it will move to the different places where it gets the food material, and this pseudopodia will be changing its shape to grab the food material into its body. After grabbing the food material into its body, in the body the vacuole will be present. In the vacuole digestive enzymes will be present. These digestive enzymes will be digesting the food material, and through the pseudopodia only again the waste material, means this through the surface of the amoeba only the waste material will be going out of the body. So here some of the organisms, means even paramecium also you can take it as an example, and even amoeba also you can take it as an example. Means they will be taking the food as a whole material through their surface. Entire body surface will be participating in this process of nutrition, and after the taking the food material into the body, only a particular part of the, means like example in amoeba if you take the food vacuole will be helping in the process of the digestion, while if you observe in the paramecium, cytosome is the site where the digestion takes place in the paramecium. Like that, these are the different types of the heterotrophic nutrition. Next, going to the next step, what are the 5 stages of Holozoic nutrition? First of all, what is Holozoic nutrition? The nutrition that is followed by most of the animals is called as the Holozoic nutrition. And here in the Holozoic nutrition, 5 steps are there. First step is ingestion. The second step is digestion. Ingestion means taking the food material through their mouth is called as ingestion. Digestion, the process of breaking down of the complex organic molecules into simple inorganic molecules is called as a digestion. Absorption, generally absorption takes place in the small intestine. So the food material will be absorbed into the blood, into the villi, microvilli that are present on the walls of the small intestine. Later on, assimilation. So the food after being absorbed, it will be assimilated into particular nutrients groups and it will be sent out throughout the blood into the body. Next, egestion. Unwanted material will be sent out through the body part. It is called as the egestion. So these are the 5 different types of the Holozoic, 5 stages in the Holozoic nutrition. And regarding this Holozoic nutrition also, I have done a video, that is digestive system video. If you want, you can go and watch the video. Next. The dodder plant uses a specialized part to get the nutrition from other plants. What is its name? Dodder plant means nothing but Cuscuta is called as the dodder plant. Cuscuta is the best example for the parasitic nutrition. Here we said that in the parasitic nutrition, parasite and host will be present. Parasite will be taking the food material from the host, I have said. But how do they get the food material from the host? The parasite will have some root-like structures. Here the cuscuta is a parasitic plant. So the cuscuta will be having some root-like structures. That root-like structures are called as haustoria. What are the root-like structures called as? Haustoria. These haustoria will be penetrating into the body of the host and they will be collecting the nutrients from the host body. So here the dodder plant uses a specialized part to get nutrition from other plants. What is its name? They are asking. Haustoria is the name for it. Means the parasitic plant is having some type of root-like structures called as haustoria. With the haustoria, they will be absorbing the nutrients from the host plant. So now let's move on to the next question. Just hold on. So you see, if you observe the answer for it, haustoria are the specialized structures developed by the dodder plant to absorb the nutrients. Dodder plant means nothing but cuscuta plant, which is a plant parasite. Next question. Write the differences between the autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. So let us learn this in detail. The first one is autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophs are the organisms that prepare their own food through the process of the photosynthesis. Already I said that who are called as autotrophs means who are having the pigment chlorophyll are called as autotrophs. Okay. The second point is, the first point of the heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophs are the organisms that cannot prepare their own food material and depend upon the autotrophs. Hetero means upon. They depend upon someone for their food material. Auto, self. They prepare their food material by themselves are called as autotrophs. How do they prepare the food materials by themselves? Means by the process of the photosynthesis. Means who are having the chlorophyll can only undergo the process of the autotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophs, as they are not having the chlorophyll pigments, they has to depend upon the autotrophs for their food. Next point is organisms prepare its own food. Here if you observe the heterotrophic nutrition, second point, organisms depend upon other organisms. Means other organisms in sense you can say herbivores are the heterotrophs, omnivores are the heterotrophs, carnivores are the heterotrophs, and some of the microorganisms like bacteria, virus, okay, fungi, these all are come under the heterotrophs only. Next, third point. Food is prepared from carbon dioxide and water in presence of the sunlight. Nothing but which is happening in the photosynthesis. Food cannot be prepared from the carbon dioxide or water. Yes, we can't because we are not having the chlorophyll. Next, going to the fourth point. Green plants and certain bacteria like blue-green algae have autotrophic nutrition. Already regarding this I have explained just before. So green plants and the blue-green algae are having the green color pigment, so they can prepare their own food material. That's why they are called as autotrophs. All the animals mostly have bacteria have heterotrophic nutrition. So all the animals, even we human beings are heterotrophs only. Next, autotrophs are producers in the food chain. Yes, absolutely, it's correct. If the autotrophs are not there, then there will be no producers. If the producers are not there, consumers won't be there. Consumers are not there means whole completely the food chain will be collapsed. So here autotrophs are the producers in the food chain. The fifth point of the heterotrophs is heterotrophs are the consumers. In the consumers, again we are having primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers. The primary consumers means the herbivores are called as the primary consumers, secondary consumers, the carnivores are called as the secondary consumers, and here tertiary consumers means like you can say in the carnivores only we are having primary carnivores and secondary carnivores. So the secondary carnivores will come under the tertiary consumers. So like that we are having different points of the autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. If you want, you can write it clearly by observing the video. Now let's go to the last question. Draw a neat labeled diagram of paramecium. So this paramecium is a unicellular organism, and I'll show you the diagram what you have to draw. Yeah, this is the diagram you have to draw for the paramecium. So you can see the paramecium is a slipper shaped animalcule. The paramecium is a single celled or unicellular organism. It is having the shape of a slipper. That's why it's called as a slipper shaped animalcule. And all over the body of the paramecium we are having the cilia. So cilia is the part which helps in the movement of the paramecium. Here we know that amoeba is having the finger like extensions called as pseudopodia that helps the amoeba to move move from one place to other place. Here, the body of the paramecium is covered with cilia, hair-like structures that helps to move the paramecium from one place to other place. And here you can see the contractile vacuole is present, and the next one is the food vacuole is also present. And in the paramecium, two types of nucleus are there. One is the micronucleus, means which is the small nucleus. The other one is the macronucleus. And oral groove you can observe, cytoplasm you can observe. So this is the structure of the paramecium. Okay, so here this part, actually this part is called as the, it is called as the cytosome. This part is called as cytosome, which is helpful for the transporting of the food or taking the food material into the body. Cytosome, this part is called as the cytosome. So these are the different parts of the paramecium, and you can draw the diagram by watching this question. So I think we have covered all the questions of this worksheet. All the questions of this worksheet are covered, and if you're having any doubts you can ask me. If you like the video, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.